Today I'm going to unbox and take a look at Battle of Sơn Tây game from the Historical Game Company. I've covered several of these games, or several of the offerings from the Historical Game Company, some of which were sent to me and some of which I bought. In fact, I've bought more than many more than I was able to get from them. And this one I picked up during a Blue Panther holiday sale, fall sale, whatever you want to call it, which Blue Panther is a third-party sourcing agent. They have some of their own games now, but they also do a lot of sourcing for smaller war game publishers or game publishers, and had a sale and picked up several titles, and this was among them. The Sơn Tây campaign, which started around that is the feature of this game, was around 11 December 1883 to 17 December 1883. So if I get my timing right, maybe I'll have this posted on that date. I do a lot of pre-recording because I film, early in the morning, late at night, and weekends to accommodate family life and work. So who knows when I'm going to post this, but I'll try to hit this on that day, or at least on the 11th, or during that period, so it will have some meaning to it. But the Sơn Tây campaign was fought by the French to capture the strategically important city of Sơn Tây in Tonkin, which is in northern Vietnam, from the Black Flag Army and allied contingents of Vietnamese and Chinese troops. The campaign was one of several clashes between the Tonkin Expeditionary Corps and the Black Flag Army during the Tonkin Campaign, which took place between 1883 to 1886, and took place during the period of undeclared hostilities that preceded the Sino-French War, which was from 1884 to 1885. So let's get into the box here and see what we are looking at. Well, let's look at the back first here. If you're not familiar with the Historical Game Company games, then take a look at some of my previous videos, or just watch this and you'll see what you're going to get. But this is a typical example of the counters. They're Blue Panther produced counters, so they're those nice, thick, chunky counters. There are cards in here because this is at heart kind of a card-driven game. The cards will dictate how many units can move in a turn, how many units can attack on your side, and any kind of special rules or special abilities that take place during that turn. And then you have a map, and the maps are this cloth canvas type maps that I really like. So here's an example of the cards. So for the two different sides, as you can see here, if you drew this card, you can move 6 Chinese units, attack with 5 Chinese units, and then you have this special ability for that turn. There's 10 cards per side, maximum of 24 turns in the game, and when you run out of cards, you just reshuffle and keep going through the deck until you meet the objectives that are unique to that battle. Here are the example of the counters here. As you can see, you've got a 2, 6, 3. Well, the 2 is the attack value, and the small 2 up above is the range. 6 is the defense value, and 3 is movement. Combat's relatively simple. You'll roll a die, add your attack value, and compare it to the defense value of the unit you're attacking. You might have modifiers for terrain or from cards, or if you combine forces. And then if that number equals or exceeds, then it will be disordered. You'll flip it to its disorder side. And then if it exceeds it by 2 or more, then you can eliminate the unit. That's kind of a basic overview of the game. Let's look at the back here. It says, 1883, the French have decided to crush the renegade Chinese Black Flag Army that has taken control of Tonkin and the Red River. The Black Flag Army and its Chinese and Vietnamese allies have been elusive and have put up fierce resistance. A plan to capture the fortress of Sơn Tây is put into place in the hopes of a quick end to the war. The Black Flag Army has fortified Sơn Tây and is confident that the French will be repulsed. The stage is set. So now let's get into the box and see what we have in store for us. I've also done several. I played all these, or at least all the ones I've got. Except I haven't played this one yet, of course. And I've done a few after action reports of the game itself, but also talking in general about gameplay. So you get a die there. You're going to get your cards. Again, the cards are kind of the heart of the game or the mechanic, because this is kind of the equivalent of your orders. It kind of simulates orders of each side and how they're communicating and getting units to move and to attack. So there's your move, there's your attack, and then you've got a special ability. So this is advanced stalls, so you're not going to have much movement or much attack. Effective artillery, so this is going to affect the artillery. Fire twice, get a modifier there. Foreign Legion, so you've got all these different cards that are tied to the historical event and simulating some of the things that happen, but the cards are going to be different because they're going to be based kind of on that historical event. Each side will have their own deck, and each side is totally different of what they can do. There's the Black Flag Fanatics, easy for you to say. So some of the cards there. Here are the rules. As I said, the rules are not, well, I kind of explained how the game play. Don't use that as your rules explanation. Read the rules because they're only 4 pages. They're not that complicated. And actually, most of the back of the rules is the terrain effects chart. That's going to show your effect on movement and combat. So you got the whole back page there is pretty much that. So really, 3 pages of rules. And it really is that quick. Here's an example of the combat units, attack factor, defense factor, movement. They use this silhouette, so you're not looking at NATO symbols, and I kind of like that because they're kind of tied to the period. And then you have your phase, draw phase, movement phase, defensive fire phase. So if you move into the range of a enemy unit, they have a certain number they can do defensive fire on. Combat phase and rally phase. You basically can rally something that is general rules. If it's out of the zone of control of an enemy, then you can rally it, turn it back over to its ordered side. But some cards might affect that as well. They might let you rally when you're in a zone of control or at the beginning of the turn and the like. So the rules are generally the same. The big area you need to, setup will be different, of course, for the battle. The maps will be different. Counters will be different, but the gameplay is all the same except for the victory conditions. Each game's going to be focusing on victory conditions that are tied to that battle. And so this is where a lot of the change happens in the difference in the games, because they do have some different and unique victory conditions. Here are the counters. As I said, there's those thick Blue Panther counters. So you can see them there. And you have a game turn that's double-sided because when it's your turn, let's say if you're playing the Chinese, then you will have that up. You'll draw your card, do your actions, flip it over, and then the other side will do the same, draw a card, and does its actions. There is the disordered side, as you can see, which just has a defense value for the unit. So those are the counters. And then this is one of my favorite things about the Historic Game Company is they provide these really nice, thick, canvas cloth type mats that are very nice printing on the front side. And so just one little quick fold and you're ready to go here. You've got 24 turns maximum. You've got holding boxes for enemy units. This one's going to have some naval units, it looks like, on here because you got the Red River. And relatively kind of cool looking map there. So there you have it. That is what you get in a box of Battle of Sơn Tây, or Sơn Tây. Example of all the cards there. Boom. And I generally like this system. It's a very, what I call a accessible system, meaning it's easy to get to the table. It's easy to set up. Once you've played one of these, any of these games, a couple of times, the rules are very easy to just come back to and pick up and play. You just need to understand the setup, the map, and the victory conditions, and everything else is the same. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you have any comments on this game, on this historical event, or on any of the historical game company games, I appreciate it. Put it down in the comments down below. Anyway, thanks. Thank you all for stopping by. Take care. Thanks for watching.